Yes, ma'am.
That's very good. Now tell me, what did we do in our previous class?
Value based
About
education.
value-based education.
Yes, we wanted to discuss about value based education. We discussed what are values, isn't it? What is a curriculum? Why values are necessary in a curriculum? Yes or no? Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, first of all, I want you to tell me what are the needs and aspirations of a nation. You all know that for a country to develop, education is the best tool or the best instrument to transform a society. Which means if you want a nation to progress, if you want a nation to develop, then you must have a very good educational system in the country, isn't it? When we talk about educational system, we have both formal, informal, and everything. So when we come into formal education, we need a proper curriculum starting from the birth till death. Education is a lifelong process, it goes on and on. But when we take the formal education, the school education, and the higher education, that is, we say primary, pre-primary, also nowadays it is also included, that is, the education has become free and compulsory for the age group, for all the citizens of India, right from the age of 2 to 18. Okay, so pre-primary, primary, okay, secondary, high secondary, then tertiary level, isn't it? Yes, that's how we have our education system here in India. Yes. So when we talk
Yes, ma'am.
about the curriculum, we'll start with the school curriculum first. Is it okay? Yes. In that sense, you do
Yes,
your
ma'am.
teaching for your pedagogy subjects for ninth standard and 11th standard, especially for the secondary level and high secondary level, isn't it? If you're a UG student, you either go for middle school or secondary school. You teach from 6th standard to 10th standard, isn't it? Yes. Again, if you're a PGT, okay, you'll be asked to handle classes for 11 and 12. Yes. So first we'll start with the secondary level. Okay, the curriculum, especially for the secondary level, how it has to be developed, how it has to be designed. Okay, especially the value oriented education, how it should be given. It is going to be the point of discussion for us. Okay, today we'll discuss about the value oriented education for secondary level. We'll start with the needs and aspirations of a nation. Now I want each and every one to contribute. Each one of you will tell me, okay, what are the needs and aspirations of a nation. First we'll have values with under national context, then we'll proceed to international context. Is it clear? Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, give me the answers. What are the needs and aspirations of a nation?
Good education.
First of all, you say that it is good education. You need good education first, isn't it? Good education first. Yes.
Not only good education, ma'am. The education should be a quality one. It should have quality.
Yes, quality education, very good. Yes, good. Soumya and Idle Queen, very good.
Ma'am,
So
bringing
are you?
equality, ma'am.
Yes, ma, I want everyone to note down everything. Okay, whatever I say, Soumya and Diddle Queen, okay, whatever your peers are saying, I want you to note it down. So first we'll start with education, that too especially quality education. Okay, not only the quantity. Okay, more number of schools, opening more number of schools and colleges are not only important. You should have total quality management in all the educational institutions, isn't it? Yes.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
access to education, ma'am. Access
Yes,
to education,
Sahana.
ma'am.
Very good. Tell me, what do you mean by access?
No person should be denied education, ma'am. Every person in India should have access to education,
Yes.
irrespective of their backgrounds.
Yes, you all know that India is, you know, it has diversity, cultural diversity, geographical diversity. Yes, there are so many diversities in our country. In that case, how will you develop the curriculum? Okay, and you have urban and rural divide, regional diversity. Yes, what do you mean by urban? What do you mean by rural?
Urban is city, ma'am. Rural is village.
Yes, very
Village.
good, very good.
The city life,
Yes,
ma'am.
and
Rural is
economic
the village.
diversities. We have rich as well as the poor. How will you get social mobility? You need social mobility also, isn't it? We have, since
Yes,
we
ma'am.
say that
Yes,
we have
ma'am.
different cultures, we have different
Different
societies.
disabled group must get
Yes,
education, ma'am. Different
inclusive
disabled group
education.
must
Very
get
good,
it.
very good. Yes, inclusive education. So, Idal was talking about quality education. So, inclusive education is a must. Okay, when you have diversities to rectify, to satisfy all these diversities, to bring everything together, you need inclusive education. Can anyone tell me what is inclusive education?
All disabled people must get education.
Where
Not only
everyone
this.
be
Where
included.
every
What
individual
is
is being included,
Everyone
ma'am.
should be treated
And
equal.
same normal classroom condition with along with the normal kids. They should not have
Shrita?
discussion.
Yes, Sony, yes, tell me, come again.
Like they should also be included in the normal classes. We should not discriminate them. We should include them in with the normal students and all.
Yes, there should not be any discrimination. You're right. What do you mean by discrimination? How students are discriminated? How people are discriminated? Under what background? Under what basis are they discriminated
Based on their
Ma'am, based
caste,
on
ma'am.
caste, color,
Based on the
religion,
caste
Color,
ma'am.
religion, caste.
So they can learn
And
language, ma'am.
and the from
economic,
native place, maybe rural
economic
or cities in
backgrounds.
urban.
based on the region? Yes. Now I want you to put everything down.
High
Everything
class,
down.
low class.
Based on caste, based on region, based on religion. Yes. Actually, we are not supposed to do
Eco-
all these things. All men and women should be treated equally, isn't it? And you left not only the socially disadvantaged group, economically disadvantaged group, you left out this women's education, girls. Particularly in our country, boys are provided with good quality of education, whereas girls are not allowed to go out of their houses, isn't it? Girls are denied education.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
very good. So that should change because men and women, okay, in a society, okay, both the boys or the girls, or you say both the genders, okay, male and female, even the transgenders, everyone should be treated equally, isn't it? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
yes. Okay. So, how will you develop? So, you were talking about the social, economic, political. Let's talk about political also.
There are different
We need
acts,
good
ma'am.
leaders, ma'am.
The
Ma'am, we
different
need
laws
good
about
leaders.
education, policy, and acts.
Policies. Yes. Now, who will tell me about policies? What are the different policies? After India got its independence, we'll talk about after independence. Okay. Right from British rule, you have learned education. How was it in ancient period? Then medieval period. Then British period. Then after the independence. Now in 21st century. This is that's why I said we'll travel from national level. Then will proceed to international level. Okay, so when we talk about the 21st century education, uh, liberalization, privatization, and globalization, it comes into an important place. It takes an important role, isn't it? LPG is very, very important when we talk about the education system or the progress of a country. Yes, yes,
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
yes. We'll talk about the policies that were uh,
SSA and National Educational Policy
yes, say Sarva Shiksha
and
Abhiyan.
RM.
Yes, one by one. We'll
RMSA.
discuss first. First, we'll talk about
RMSA.
SSA, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. What do you mean by that?
Below 14 years child must get education, and is 1 is to 40 student 40 teacher 1
Teacher and
must get
student ratio. Yes,
ratio, and the class students are classified 1 to 3rd and 3rd to 6th and 6th to 8th the
very good,
division.
very good.
Based on that the education must be given.
So Sahana was telling about accessibility. Everyone should
Soumya
get an
ma'am.
access. No, Soumya, you told me all these things. Okay, you totally explained about SSA. No, previously we were talking about access also, right? Sahana was saying. So, what this means is Sarva means everyone. Shiksha means education. Okay, so it is education for all. That's what we mean by Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Okay, and we have to maintain this students and teachers ratio. All these things are formulated in specified in SSA. What is RMSA?
It is for secondary level, ma'am, to improve the quality, to improve the enrollment of students.
Yes, so there should not be any dropouts. Okay, the quantity, that's why I said the quantity as well as the quality both should improve, both the things, that is we have to look into both the things equally. Yes, yes, very good. Then what are the other policies? Let's come to new education policy now. Okay, I want
Na-
you to
Three
National
decades
Educational
in
Policy 2019 ma'am.
yes, but it was drafted in 19. Okay, now only in 2020 only it has become a policy, isn't it? It was a
Yes
draft
ma'am.
Yes,
till 2019.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, now only it has become a policy. Yes. So I want you to you all know that curriculum is a socio-political process, isn't it? So it is like once the education develops, okay, you get a progressive society. Once the society progresses, you get a good quality of education. When all these things happens, automatically our country will grow. Growth and development of a nation will happen. Okay, then you can talk about the global citizens, isn't it? Once each and every country progresses, what will happen? The whole world will be a progressive society. Yes, this is how it is connected.
Yes ma'am.
Yes, in this, how will you form a harmonious society? You need a peaceful world, isn't it? After the First World War and Second World War, you know how United Nations organizations came and how they were talking about the sustainable development goals. Okay, in that particularly about peace education, about value oriented education, skill, life skills, and all these things were given much importance. Okay, now particularly what has been said about the value system, about value oriented education in NEP 2020.
Moral and spiritual.
Very good, Soumya. Very good. Moral and spiritual. How will you give? Uh, is it
By
mandatory?
physical.
Physical
By
fitness. Yes, that is important. Yoga and meditation. Yes. What are the other values? There are so many constitutional values. I'll give you I'll give you 5 minutes time. Just tell me what are the constitutional values. Everything is given in our Constitution of India. I want you to tell me how many constitutional values are given in our country. Okay, Constitution of India, there is a separate thing, isn't it? Now, in that, how many values? Just browse and tell me. I think 2 minutes is enough, isn't it? Make it fast. Love, peace, gratitude, honesty,
Ma'am,
all these
your mic
you
is
have.
muted.
Yeah,
You're muted, ma'am.
yes, thank you. So it is love, gratitude, happiness, all
Yes,
these
ma'am.
things,
Creativity.
honesty. Yes, all these things you know already, isn't it? Constitutional values only three, Jnana Kalai Selvi, not three. Core values are, see, there are core values, okay? Core values also you have, and you have, apart from that, you have some more things. Yes, Pratana.
Ma'am, justice, ma'am.
Yes,
Justice, equality,
liberty.
liberty, and
Those,
fraternity,
all
ma'am.
those four are,
Fraternity.
yeah, yes, yes. They are all called core values. What you said is right.
Yes, ma'am.
Apart from that,
Ma'am, 5 constitutional values, ma'am.
yes, unity, human dignity,
Democracy,
yes. What else?
social
Respect and
justice,
social
Socialism.
Oh, ma'am.
Socialism.
Sovereignty.
Democratic
Sovereignty,
liberty,
sovereignty, okay, sovereignty, yes. Integrity,
secular,
supremacy of the constitution,
secularism. Yes, Janani, you're right. So, sovereignty, and Muthulakshmi, fraternity, Janani, socialism. Yes. Okay. Yes. Add more and more values. Okay. So, human dignity, okay, unity. We all know India follows this unity in diversity, isn't it? Though we have so many diversities, okay, in culture, in language, in regional diversity, political diversity, this, that, and all, so many diversities. Though in spite of that, we have unity in diversity, isn't it? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you have mentioned all these values to achieve, okay, to accomplish, okay, to inculcate all these values in your students. What will you do? What kind of curriculum will you teach? Okay, transaction of curriculum happens inside the classroom. Okay, not only inside the classroom, it happens outside the classroom also. So in that case, okay, how will you frame the curriculum, particularly for value education, value oriented education? I want each and every student to contribute to this. You have
Ma'am,
to give me your
integrating,
ideas. Yes, Pratana?
integrating these values with the core subject, ma'am, like science, math,
Very
social.
good, very good, very good. Yes. So, with all the subjects, what is taught in schools, especially your language, math, science, social science, all these things. In social science, usually you learn about respect, equality, and all these things. This justice, equality, fraternity, liberty, all these things you would have learned in your social science already, isn't it? Yes? Yes or
Yes,
no?
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you have to give activity based curriculum, balanced curriculum. Yes, very good. You can give value education, moral science, value education as a separate subject also. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we conduct team activities, group activities, sports. Through
Yes, ma'am.
sports also you develop leadership qualities, teamwork, cooperation, collaboration, everything in each and every work you do. Yes. Now tell me, we have English, computer science, history, girls from history, right? And commerce. So in each and every subject, how will you inculcate values? How will you teach values to your students?
Through stories, ma'am, for English.
What kind of stories? You're right. Moral
Stories with
stories.
moral.
So when you teach prose or poetry, will you be able to inculcate values in that or not?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. Can you please give me an
In
example?
computer ethics, computer issues.
Very good, Soumya.
Mm,
Very, very good. Yes, ethics, ethical practices. Now, so many things are happening. We are all actually addicted to the internet. Okay, always we are with our gadgets, either the computer or the mobiles, and always we are connected to the internet, isn't it? And you know about the cyber hacking. There are so many illegal activities that is happening around us, isn't it? So all the ethical practices. Yes, Soumya, can you please explain it in detail?
there are many computer crimes using computers.
Yes,
There are 10 computer laws. We call as a command 10 commands of computers in ethics, and we follow certain rules only now from cybercrime. Through that, we can't stop, but we can hold, or we can somewhat stop from crime in computer
can you spell
through
out all
teaching this.
10? You said some
Uh,
10 things are there. Can you please spell it out?
sh- Thou shall not steal others
Yes,
device. Thou
stealing.
shall not copy others
Copying, yes.
data.
One
Thou
minute,
shall
one
not.
minute. Just give me a minute. So, this copying, it's called plagiarism, okay? Stealing others' research work or anything. So, somebody says something and you steal and you claim it to be your own thing. Okay, you copy and do all the work and say, this is my creativity. I did all these things. Okay, that is not correct. Okay, so that is against the ethics. You must follow the code of ethics what is stated in our country, or you have so many associations, societies, so many organizations which talk about the code of ethics. Okay, for each and every activity we have our own code of ethics. Yes, Soumya, you can
And thou
continue.
shall not. They shall not do piracy or duplicate of other software.
Yes, all these
And
things every day we come across, the in theaters and this thing, CDs, whatever film is released newly, immediately you get it, you know, through pirated videos we get. Yes, okay.
they shall not harm others' computer by virus, and they shall not harm others' records or personal informations in computer. Likewise, it goes, ma'am.
Very good, very good. Yes, in
Ma'am,
commerce and economics. Oh, yes, Sister Diana. Yes,
ma'am, in English, like when we teach poem and all, poem will be written by someone like they don't belong to India. They are not Indians, but they will be from outside. Different nationalities they'll be holding, but whereas the values that we teach for students, like there is a poem in English is in 8th standard, Thing of Beauty. It speaks about the nature and the people who died, who sacrificed their lives for us. So these values can be inculcated in the children when we teach poem and all in English. Ma'am.
exactly, exactly, sister. Recently, we celebrated our Independence Day, 75th Independence Day, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So there also, like we were able to remember. Okay, we were able to acknowledge the sacrifices done by our freedom fighters, isn't it? Yes,
Yes,
it is
ma'am.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
of the life,
Yes, ma'am.
the sacrifices of so many people. Okay, we are enjoying freedom now. Yes, very good, very good. Yes, very good, sister. Appreciation of beauty is very, very important. You would have learnt in axiology, isn't it? Yes, very good.
Ma'am, then in commerce, when we do business, we have to do fair dealings, and when we should provide safe working environment to the employees,
Very
and
good.
also code of conduct should be there, ma'am, while in the
Yes,
business.
you should not be always money minded, isn't it? There should be
Yes, ma'am.
respect to
The
your
welfare also.
welfare of the society.
Social
Yes, very good.
responsibility, ma'am.
Social responsibility.
Um,
Very good, very good, Pratana.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, customer satisfaction also is very important in commerce,
yes,
where everyone needs are included and they are satisfied with them. So here also the values everybody should include and their needs are met through this.
yes, 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 very good. Yes. So,
Ma'am,
yes, Sony.
in history, ma'am, in
Yes,
history, when we take the students to the historical place, there they will see and they will learn more about the history of that place. If we'll
yes,
teach in the school like storytelling, they will just think and they will imagine. But on their eyes, if they say, then they will come to know more deeper and deeper how they started and what other things are around the historical places. So that is the main important thing to teach the student in the school, to take them to the historical
field
places.
trips. When you plan for field trips, you can take them to some historical places and teach them not only history but also along with your, the past. Okay, you can teach them some values also. Okay, how values are transmitted from one generation to another generation. What are the things we follow? Okay, yes. So as we all said, we can have some activities, we can have some experiential learning. Okay, so in that case, if you go for field trips, okay, children will learn more and more. Okay, the learning will be effective, isn't it, sister? That's what you want to say. So
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can take them to the real atmosphere, real field. We can give them some real experience, and then we can teach them the values. Yes, very good, very good. Yes, yes, sister. Yes, Sony, you wanted to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Like similarly for science, when we teach them different sources of energy, like renewable, non-renewable, we can tell them to implement that in their daily life, like switching off the fans, not wasting water
Yes,
unnecessarily, and all
that's what
those
I
things.
was when I was talking about the sustainability. Okay, eco-friendly practices. Yes. So how to save nature? How to
Yes,
give
ma'am.
back to nature?
Especially
That is
in
very
conservation
important.
and environment, ma'am. In conservation and environment biology basis, we can encourage students to have a planting
More
activity
trees.
to,
Yes.
yeah, to
Yes.
reuse, recycle. Those kind of activities can also be encouraged, ma'am.
Very good. Very good. Yes.
Ma'am, in biological science, actually, not only about the environment, even we can
Sister,
teach.
1 minute, sister. Can you please keep your video properly? We are not able to see your face. Ah, yes, now it's okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now tell me.
Ma'am, in biological science, not only we can see about the environment, but we can teach the students how each other is respect. We got to respect each others. How their body is important means when we teach about the parts of the body, how each parts are important. Likewise, in the classroom also each one is important. So we got
Yes.
to give respect to each one of
Okay.
them.
So you're talking about the self care. Self care
Yes.
first. Okay. Understand ourselves first, and then once you are confident, once you know each and everything about yourself, you will definitely understand about others also. That is, you mean the intrapersonal and the interpersonal skills.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Very good. Very good. Yes. Okay,
Ma'am,
so when
not
you
only
learn about
about
your body, you can teach them about not only the functions of the body, but also other things also. Along with that, what are the things associated with it? You can teach them that also. Yes, very good.
Ma'am, in science, while taking pollution lesson also, students get to know how to save our environment, how to maintain it properly.
Yes,
Don't
very
put
good.
plastic in the dustbin like that, ma'am.
Very good, very good. Yes. Muthulakshmi, you have.
Ma'am, by taking classes about the scientists, what they have contributed to our society, they are not selfish. They are contributed to
Very
our
good,
society
very
so
good.
that others can live happily and they can have a healthy life. So that we also have to make our experiences to others, to know others, that they can also imply it and they can also have an. I want to say we are not to be selfishness. We don't have to be selfish. We have to service our society so that they also have an equal importance for the living in their society like us.
Very
This
good.
implies for our animals also, ma'am. We shouldn't treat animals like a beast. We shouldn't harm them. We
Yes.
have to care about them because they are also living organisms.
Very good. Yes, living things as well as non-living things. Each and everything should be given respect, isn't it? Yes, we should not exploit anything. Okay?
Sustainable
Yes.
development, ma'am.
1 minute. Whatever Padma Shri said, she talked about we should not harm the animals when we are doing the experiments. Okay, we are not supposed to harm the animals or some living organisms for our benefit. Okay, that's what Muthulakshmi also has posted in the chat box. Yes, Muthulakshmi. Yes, Padmashri, very good, very good. The scientists being selfless, that's how we live happily now. Because of their contributions, we are enjoying our life, isn't it? Yes, very good. Muthulakshmi, where is Muthulakshmi?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, while doing experiments, the animals are harmed. We teach the students that we don't harm animals.
Yes.
Without injury, we do experiment.
Yes. Nowadays, they are not doing dissection and all, isn't it? But when I was in school, we had to dissect the cockroach, frog.
Ma'am, rat and frog
Now,
also.
ah,
Rat and frog also, ma'am.
rat I have not done. Okay, we
Ma'am,
have.
nowadays
Now
it's
it
not.
is now it is removed, ma'am.
Now
Now
it's not
school
allowed,
students.
right?
No,
We cannot
ma'am.
do
It
it in
in
the schools.
colleges in colleges it is done as computer simulations, and in schools they do not have, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, you have 3D, 7D, 8D, and all now. Since you have simulated this is computer aided instruction, we use that instead of doing the dissection live things and all. We have um, skipped all these things. We have avoided dissecting the animals, harming the animals. Okay, testing the chemicals or even the medicines. Okay, all these things before and all it was done, without any care, just like that. But now they are all following some protocols. Okay, all the ethical practices are defined now, well defined now. Okay, yes, very good. Yes. That's all?
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am,
Kabila.
in accounts also we can teach about tax, ma'am, like paying the correct tax without
Yes,
cheating the government.
without.
And many people, corruption also comes, ma'am. Like some companies, they give false accounts and they do corruption. We can
Yes,
talk about all those things, ma'am.
yes. Giving or taking bribe is not allowed, isn't it? That is also an offense. Okay, not paying the tax properly, that is an offense. Okay, you're cheating the government, isn't it? Yes, very good. Yes, Kabila.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. We can teach the students without fear. Sorry, ma'am. Uh, to not get fear of failures, ma'am. Like we can say the hard works of the scientist who attempt get success after a number of failures, ma'am. We
Yes,
can teach that to the students, ma'am.
yes. Like Edison and all, he failed so many times before inventing the bulb, isn't it? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hard work never fails. and failures are the stepping stones to success. So all these things can be taught. Okay, when we talk about the life history of scientists, okay, the sacrifices what they have done, okay, all these things, and how to be determined to solve the problem. There should be some endurance. You should have an endurance. You should be dedicated. You should be committed towards your work. Only then you can invent something, do something, do something positive. Yes, very good. Being positive, optimistic, it is also a value, isn't it? You have to be positive always. Okay, whenever you're supposed to face some challenges, you should not be scared. Okay, you should think over. Your creativity should be wide. Okay, convergent and divergent thinking, logical thinking, analytical thinking, critical thinking, all these things you have learned. Reflective thinking. So you must utilize all those knowledge whatever you have gained. Okay, and then try to solve the challenges, face the challenges, solve the problems. Is that clear? Yes. Yes. So I want you all to write, okay, what will you do for ninth standard, especially for ninth standard, okay, with your subjects. Okay, in English, how will you teach values? You have got some lessons, isn't it? You will be writing lesson plans, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So along with the content, what values will you teach to your students in each and everything? Okay, you will write 40 or 60 lesson plans. How many will you write?
60, ma'am.
60. So in 60 on all the 60 lesson plans, you must give one value. So
Ma'am.
60 values, you would have taught 60 values to your students. Is that clear? And tell them to
Yes, ma'am.
practice everything. Simply learning is not enough. Okay, that should be practice. Put it in your daily life. You also must practice. You must be a living example, role model to your students. Is it clear? Will you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
who
ma'am.
can sum up whatever we have discussed in our class? Okay, who can sum it up?
Ma'am, we started with what are the aspirations for the nation, and some of us gave points on good education, quality education, access to
Yes,
education, and what are the policies,
very good.
RMSA, SSA, National
Yeah,
Education Policy, and how the students are discriminated and how and on what basis, such as class, caste, religion, gender. Women's education is very important in nowadays. So, and then we moved on to value-based education and how to incorporate that into teaching. And we you got examples from each department, from
yes.
commerce, English, history.
So, what is your
And
assignment for?
we also saw the constitutional values.
Yes, yes. We concentrated only on the core values. Apart from that, values are listed. Okay, constitutional values are listed in the Constitution of India. You can see that. Okay, I will also share the notes. Is it clear? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now tell me, who can tell me what is the assignment given to you?
What will you do for ninth standard with your subject with all values
Anyhow,
incorporated?
you are going to write the lesson plans, isn't it? 60 lesson plans. So in each and every lesson plan, you will include one value which is related to your content. You will be explaining the content, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So you have to inculcate the values also. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Usually
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have, when you were in your lower classes, when we used to go for moral science classes and all, um, at the end of the story, the final touch will be the moral of the story is, isn't it? After listening to a story, definitely you will have a moral to take. That is the takeaway from that story, isn't it? So, like that,
Yes, ma'am.
you have to add on the takeaways from your lesson plans, from your lessons you teach. Okay, shall we wind up?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Because by 12 you have the next class, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, girls. Thank you.